What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to JellyGoonTv. Welcome back to my beautiful viewers and subscribers. Today we have a very special video that I found interest. I really do enjoy the organized crime. I really do enjoy mafia things. So today we're going to react to the Yakuza, the Japanese mafia. Now, viewer discretion is advised. I do not believe Japanese, everybody is mafia and everything is run. I still believe Japanese is a respectful culture. And as I know about the Yakuza a little bit, they are also very respectful. They keep it very inside of their ranks. They keep it to only these guys. Of course, I could be wrong because they are wise guys. They are criminals. But just know that I don't judge Japan fully for this whatsoever. I love Japanese culture. It's some of the weirdest, some of the most beautiful ever in the world, man. It's so fun. Like, I always wanted to go to Japan, so yeah. But without further ado, let's react to this beautiful video. Let's get into it. Let's go.
History of the Yakuza. Criminal organization. 17th to the 21st century. The Yakuza are members of a Japanese crime syndicate that were founded back in the 17th century during the mid-Edo period. They very much see themselves as a Ninkyo Dantai, a chivalrous organization that prides itself on tradition, family, and maintaining a strict code of conduct. Whereas the Japanese police call them Boryokudan and see them as simply being a particularly powerful and violent mafia-style group. The name Yakuza was taken from a popular card game called Oicho Kabu. When drawn together and added up, the cards 8, 9, and 3 equals Yakuza, making the worst possible combination. So Yakuza basically means good for nothing.
Let me pause here. It's like basically the mafia, right? Wise guys, guys who's out of society, guys who has a criminal background, guys who want to make money easy, who do stupid stuff or dangerous stuff in order to get the money. So yeah, wow, I actually didn't know that. See, we learned a lot in this. All right, man, let's go.
The Yakuza can be traced to two main groups which originated primarily from the Kyushu Islands, the Tekiya and the Bakuto. The Tekiya were peddlers or traders of illicit goods. The Bakuto were gamblers and were largely involved in gambling houses. The name Yakuza was associated with the Bakuto. At first, these gangs were just seen merely as a dishonest group of delinquents who sold fake and shoddy goods. They began to organize themselves into families with the structure of a father, the Oyabon, and the sons, the Kobon. But by the 19th century, they started to band together and get much more organized, moving into loan sharking, extortion, and running highly effective protection rackets. They soon spread all over Japan and were divided into clans, each with their own head and specializing in different forms of illegal business. The pyramid-like organizational structure was a complicated one. At the top of the Yakuza syndicate was the Kumicho, also known as the Oyabon, or father, while everyone who follows him were the Kobon, or children. Below the Kumicho are the officers. The first was the Saiko Komon, or senior advisor. He has his own advocates, accountant, and gang of children. Next in the chain of command as number 2 was the Wakagashira, who carries out the orders of the Kumicho and governs several gangs in the region. And the third position was the Shate Gashira, who was the local boss. The foot soldiers below them are the Kyodai, or older brothers, and below them are the Shate, or younger brothers. Under these are the junior leaders, known as the Wakashu.
Let me pause here. So basically, when you were a little brother, you were associate, like you were at the bottom. And when you were a child, you were a soldier. And when you were big brother, you were captain, I guess, kind of. And when you grow up to lieutenant, like, whatever. That's kind of crazy, man. That's just like the mafia. That's, wow. Let's go.
The children can form their own gangs, therefore the entire clan can grow into a large group with a lot of subfamilies. The largest Yakuza family, the Yamaguchi-gumi, was founded about 1915 by Harukichi Yamaguchi in Kobe, Japan, and fully developed after World War II by Kazuo Taoka. By the early 20th century, the Yakuza clans had become powerful male-dominated entities moving into loan sharking, money laundering, gambling, narcotics, extortion, bribery, smuggling, violence, and running highly effective protection rackets. Alongside this, they ran legitimate businesses such as construction, movie studios, nightclubs, security, insurance, and real estate, taking on the form and practices of large corporations. Soon they were making billions and billions of yen a year from a mixture of legal and illegal activities. Yakuza members were usually working class, high school dropouts recruited from common street thugs. They were often descended from Burakumin, an ethnic Korean backgrounds who were outcasts in Japan's history. The Yakuza used a sakazuki to formalize the initiation process of new members into the family, where they must take a blood oath of allegiance. The ritual, often performed at a Shinto shrine, involved the offering of a cup of sake to the initiate and the Yakuza leader known as the Oyabun, and to the gods, a process known as Sakazuki Goto. Sitting face to face, the Oyabun's cup was filled to the brim, while the initiate gets much less to indicate their different status. They had to swear a sacred oath to never reveal the secrets of the organization, to never attack another member's family, to not withhold money from the clan, to not fail to obey orders, and to not be involved with the law or police. And once you join the Yakuza, you are a member for life. For now, they become your family, and absolute loyalty to them was expected always. The Yakuza by now had become very ritualistic, seeing honor and loyalty as extremely important. There were several punishments for breaking the rules and betraying the clan, including lynching. Zetsuen, where the member was removed from the Yakuza family but was allowed to return after some time, and Hamonjo, where the offender was excommunicated and was no longer allowed to associate with or do business with the Yakuza group, banished from the Yakuza world forever. The fourth most famous punishment for an offense was yubitsume. This is where you were expected to cut off a portion of the little finger on your hand and present it to the head of the organization as a form of sincere apology. Starting with the tip of the pinky and amputating further if more transgressions were committed, yubitsume worked as a powerful deterrent to betraying the Yakuza family, being both a painful and permanent consequence of doing wrong. It can also be used to avoid a conflict. It is said that this ritual descends from the Bakudo group, where if a person was unable to pay the gambling debt they owed, then yubitsume worked as a form of repayment. The weakening of the hand diminished a member's ability to handle a sword, as the little finger is used to grip the hilt. This in turn makes the Yakuza member more dependent on the protection of his boss. Group members also wore lapel pins with their headquarters or clan logos. There was also irezumi, and this was a very important part of Yakuza culture. This was where the member of the group had an elaborate full-body tattoo. Popular designs included dragons, koi, tigers, and snakes. It was an extremely painful and expensive process, carried out by skilled tattooists using sharpened bamboo needles. The process was so intricate that it could take several years to complete. The Japanese government during the Meiji period banned tattoos to make a good impression upon the Western powers, so the practice continued underground and soon became associated with criminals. In fact, tattoos would become so strongly linked to the Yakuza that public hot springs and gyms banned customers that had them on their bodies, something that stands today. By the 1970s, Yakuza influence had stretched far and wide within the Japanese society, even extending to the highest levels of government, to such an extent that they were implicated in a bribery scandal involving the U.S. Lockheed Company and the Japanese Prime Minister. It is said that Yoshio Kodama, a powerful Yakuza, acted as a consultant and facilitated a $3 million bribe to get the Japanese to buy Lockheed L-1011 TriStar passenger planes and a large number of F-104 Starfighters jet aircrafts. The 1980s saw the Japanese...
Let me pause here. Imagine if the Mafia, like the Yakuza they have fucking planes in the air. That shit is crazy, man. And with the little finger, I seen that on the videos too, movies too. I thought it was a movie conspiracy, but why would you lower your soldiers down to that standard if a gambler has to do it and now a soldier has to do it? That kind of, yeah, but I respect to whatever, man. I just saying, man, it's kind of weird, but goddamn jets? Man, you people are crazy. Let's go.
Economy boom, driven by massive exports to America and Europe. The Yakuza quickly capitalized on the opportunities this newfound prosperity brought, but this in turn led to infighting amongst the various factions in the Yakuza. Such conflict, though rare, often proved to be incredibly violent, but normally short-lived. Worrying for the police on this occasion, it quickly escalated to open, unrestricted warfare, and the factions seemed to care little about who got hurt in the fighting. In the Japanese city of Fukuoka, it got completely out of control as gun battles between the various factions were becoming commonplace and civilians were becoming hurt or killed on a regular basis. The police took a tough stance against the Yakuza, and the subsequent crackdown did not only bring about a public declared truce between the warring factions, but also marked the start of the decline in power and influence of the Yakuza, as the police finally took a proactive approach against them nationwide. By the 1990s, the Yakuza had moved with the times and become much more international, having formed alliances with various Korean and extremely violent Vietnamese gangs, as well as the Chinese triads. in the process cornering the Asian market in illegal handguns and human trafficking. Infighting between the Yakuza is rare, as they see it being counterproductive and harmful to their reputation for being a unified group. But in 2007, there was violence between two powerful factions when one side assassinated Ryoichi Sugiyura, a leading senior member of the Sumiyoshikai, the second largest Yakuza family, by ambushing his limo using gunmen riding motorcycles. But a strong police crackdown meant the violence never escalated much further. At its peak, the Yakuza clan members could number as many as 250,000, but over the last few decades their numbers have declined dramatically. Since 2011, there's been regulations that prohibit business with the Yakuza. Yakuza exclusion ordinances, which are aimed to eliminate the relationship of citizens with the Yakuza, have also been enacted.
Hard down, man. They don't want that.
Changing attitudes, constant police crackdown, and the introduction of several anti-corruption laws in Japan has affected them badly. But this is not to say they are still not a force to be reckoned with. Having adapted with the times, they have spread overseas to other parts of Asia, as well as America, moving into new developing markets.
100% true.
And in recent years, they have started to realize the importance of PR, and in an attempt to improve their image, were heavily involved in providing disaster relief after the Kobe earthquake of 1995 and the Tohoku tsunami of 2011. This proved highly effective and has done much to increase their popularity in recent years.
That's kind of crazy, man. So he was trying, okay, it's done. Go over to Simple History and support his channel. We're done with this one. I don't know what happened at the end. I think he messed up the video. But anyway, man, that was a beautiful video. Really learning a lot about Yakuza, but I already know all these things. But you have to understand that these organizations is not done yet. Like, they adapt to the times like any criminal would do. Like, they have to make money because they can't really do anything else. What do you want them to do? You want them to get a part-time job when they used to make $500,000 each day? Like, no, you can't do that because you get adapted to a certain amount of money. Not to say that you can't decrease and change your life. Of course, there's many gang members and thugs and bosses who done that, of course. But I'm just saying, man, the Yakuza is definitely not done. I still believe they do exist, and I still do believe they have a lot of businesses elsewhere, like markets and everything, because Asia is really a place for corruption and everything, because there's a lot of money that goes in and that the government never really sees. So that's some crazy shit. And you can have like markets, territories, and everything, and you know. But one thing that I learned about the Yakuza is that through all this history, like he said, they are very respectful people. Like, they don't mess with the civilians and everything because they have the history that they do have. So, like the Mafia, for example, they have the code that don't fuck with civilians, don't kill a cop. Don't kill civilians, don't kill a cop. Only kill the bad guys. You know what I mean? Unless you fuck with them, or unless you owe them money, or whatever you do. But you still, affiliated with the Mafia or the Yakuza. So yeah, that's happened. But yeah, anyway, man, that was a beautiful video. Really, really, really good. It doesn't really change a lot about Japan, because I think Japan is one of the most beautiful countries, the most funny countries I ever seen. Never been there, but I've seen it on video. I've seen it everywhere, man. So yeah. Anyway, guys and girls, if you like this video and you like this content, please hit the like button down below, as it would be massively appreciated to support this video and to get some new viewers in, and just, from Japan or Asia, whatever. It could be massively appreciated. But if you really want to support this channel, we almost trying to get at, we almost at 10,000 subscribers. So we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by 4 months. So I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. The tempo that it goes in now, I don't know. But we're going to see. Maybe it's going to explode, maybe it's not. But please do subscribe and hit that notification button so you get updated on the newest videos that come to this channel. And become a member of the Jelly Goon Squad, of course. But anyway, guys and girls, I'm going to move on into the next video, man. I love you people. See you later, man. Peace.